Hello, 388 students. It is week 5, which is super exciting. After this, we'll be halfway. So this past week, what we did was we started with our customer discovery, correct? We went ahead and we did 8 different interviews, 3 with family and friends, and then 5 with our potential customers. I have started to look through those, and it's all looked good so far. Haven't had too many questions from you guys about that. So we won't really address that in today's video, but if you're interested or want to talk to me a little more about that in the future, let me know. I'd be more than happy to. But we'll just move on from that a little bit and just talk about what's coming up. So this is kind of a look back, but our first shadowing project is due on the 21st, which is Friday. I hope you've all got a good start on it. I've had fielded a couple questions on it, but nothing too major. So just a reminder, keep that in the back of your head, submit the write-up by Friday. So this week, we're going to be talking more about our customer finding and interviews, our next assignment regarding that, and then all of this fun stuff. So let's hop over to the week 5 module where I've laid it out a little clearer for you and in an order I'd suggest you to go through it. So if you click on this link here, it's where you found this lecture. So we don't have a PowerPoint for this week. Again, no new content necessarily that I'll be presenting, just reviewing the assignments and whatnot. So our updated interview tracking sheet. This week, I'm going to have you guys do 15 additional interviews with potential customers, okay? Sounds like a lot, especially when we only did 8 last week, but you guys are getting the hang of it. You should be coming more naturally to you guys to go out and get these interviews, schedule them in. So I'm expecting a little more from you this week. So for this assignment tab, all you'll need to do is upload your updated customer interview tracking spreadsheet, okay? And as you go on and read this, you'll notice that this week's points for this particular assignment module are divided between uploading the updated tracking sheet and this progress report that you guys will be writing, okay? So up until this point, you should be collecting information from your customer interview for customer discovery. And what I want you to write is a 4 to 5 page double-spaced paper. This should include all of these different points. So first, your interview process, what you changed from your first round of interviews in particular. What questions you changed, what sort of, maybe the order of questions, anything, okay? What did you change or improve upon? Number 2, who did you interview and why did you choose them? So this can include both from the first week of customer interviews and this week, okay? Number 3, your key takeaways from your customer discovery interviews up to this point. So again, all the way up from week 4 to week 5. Number 4, any patterns you gleaned from the data you collected. And number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yes. What you are going to do different next week when we assign even more customer discovery interviews and who you'll be planning to target for these, whether you'll stick within the same customer segment demographic or kind of change it up, go after someone who maybe you think is a better potential customer because you aren't getting a lot of great feedback on your business idea from these customers who've been interviewing. So from this week to next week, it's really important. Do you need to consider a pivot? Are the customers giving you the feedback you expected from your initial hypotheses? Again, I'm going to mention these patterns. So you've started out, I think last week in your reflection, for your articles, you wrote about some different key data points or questions you needed answered about whether this is a good business idea to start. So are there any patterns behind these interviews that you've found so far that leads you to answer these questions one way or the other? Okay. So just a really solid write-up on that. It's worth 6 points. And both of these, the updated interview tracking sheet and the progress report on customer research, these are both due on Sunday, the 23rd, okay? Again, I wanted to give you guys the weekend. I see a lot of you used it to get these interviews completed, okay? And this write-up is worth 6 of the 10 points. So Next on the agenda is your mid-semester meeting with your mentor. Yes, it is time for that. So this week, I would prefer it to be in person, but I won't assign it to be, since I know you have all these different interviews going on, all this different schoolwork to be doing in different classes. You can do it over FaceTime or the phone if that works for both of your schedules. However, I've included some discussion points to include, but you aren't limited to, so go ahead and write out some different points you want to discuss with your mentor too before joining in on the meeting. So go ahead and ask them about their views on entrepreneurship and experience within it, some important lessons they learned on owning or operating their business, and what tips they could give you or what great advice they could give you if you choose to start a business. And then also update your mentor on the progress you've made in your customer discovery interviews. Go ahead and ask them for tips they have for you to gain more and better information from the interviews. So it's important to share a lot in how you're conducting these interviews, who you're talking to, so they can give you important feedback. Maybe they have some referrals they'd give you, and then also they might add to your list of questions you should be asking. So for this assignment, I'm only requiring a very short, less than 1 page, that's all is needed, write-up of what you retained from this meeting with your mentor, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise. Okay, that's just basically to show me that you did it, and that's worth 12 points, and this is also due on Monday, or Sunday, sorry, Sunday the 23rd, in case if the weekend is the only time that really works for you. There's no time requirement for this meeting with your mentor. This is you getting what you need from them, okay? It's not for my benefit that you guys are meeting with these mentors and people who could really help develop your business idea, validate it, and help you along your way in entrepreneurship or just business or life. It's up to you to get the most out of this class. So, with that being said, next up is we have one article. It's Why Startups Need to Focus on Sales and Not Marketing by Jessica Livingston. It's a pretty quick read, and I do have some discussion questions that go along with it. So I'm looking for thoughtful reflections. I've started reading some of them. Some of them are awesome, and you're doing a great job. Some of them need a little more work. So go ahead and check out your grade, your comments on the first reflections I've graded, and kind of either amp up the reflection that you've been turning in, or keep it at that same high quality level going through the semester. So just go ahead and read through these questions, write about it. But besides that, I think we've talked about everything we needed to this week, which is great. Next week, you look forward to another small group meeting through Zoom. The same Google Doc list that you signed up for, that's the same meeting time you're going to be working with in week 6 as well. But that's next week. Just a heads up, though, okay? So, once again, if you have any questions, please let me know, and good luck with all your interviews again this week.